Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I am one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
No sleeves tonight. Proud of you, LeRon.
Yeah. Not a single sleeve to be seen.
What did the kids say?
At least not in my feed.
What did the kids say? He understood the assignment.
That's right.
That's a thing, right? That's
Wait, there was an assignment?
I feel a little too old to be saying that.
How much do I get if I take off more than just the sleeves?
Like a one shoulder tank. I'm gonna design a one shoulder tank just for the.
Wait. No nipple.
Oh.
No nipple.
Oh
Whoops.
Gosh.
Whoops.
It's fine.
What? Can't show man nipples on the show?
You can't show any nipples on Twitch.
I don't think you can.
No nips on Twitch.
I've never saw.
But a man nipple?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Well, sexual equality.
This is a topic for After Dark. We're gonna talk about the double standard of sex and sexiness.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
Speaking of a double standard, joining us as well is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
That is terrible. And I was gonna say this was my most favorite night of the week. How dare you?
Well, look, I was gonna go the other way, but then I felt like I would have gotten in trouble for that too. There's no winning.
Jesus Christ!
It's okay. It's okay. I'll just go to bed crying tonight. Thank you.
No,
Dude, look what
fine.
You did, man.
She's fine. Look at her. She's fine.
She's currently writing a book. Like I know who the villain is about to be in her new book now.
That's fine.
The end still needs to be written.
Just don't make me as plump as I am.
Is it Here's my question for you, Stephanie. Is it a freight train or is it a land shark that's gonna kill the villain?
Ooh, maybe like a massive jellyfish.
Oh gosh, I hate jellyfish so much.
Oh,
They're so
there you go.
scary.
See?
Everything.
They'll just like
The
reach out his
justice,
gooey tentacles and drag you into the ocean.
the justice is so poetic.
I'm just saying, things that come from the sea are scary. A lot of
Or like
ocean
a
life.
massive squid.
Yeah, like
That big ass eyeball looking at you.
they're all like gooey and rubbery, and like most of them are transparent, and a lot of them are scary because they have big teeth or they just look funny. Like they're just no. The sea life can just stay out there. Leave me alone. I'll be right here on grass, on hard land, and not go in the ocean. Gross.
By the way, Stephanie, your Boss Rush banner from April the 1st, like we gave it new life on Crossroads last night because it was.
I don't even remember what that was.
Does the cancellation of E3 2022 really matter?
Oh yes. Okay. I can't wait to listen to that.
Yeah, we had. We had a really illuminating discussion on that one. Because I kind of wish that some of the stuff that I had said last night it was in the front of my brain when like the news came down. Remember how that conversation went online, and then it seemed like I was hashing everybody's jam,
Yeah, that's kind of what I hate to say, like, inspired me to write the banter. Although if you read my banter, it's not really directed.
I know.
But
It's not.
It made me like, well, might as well turn this into a band. No, but I'm kind of similar, LeRon. I mean, maybe this doesn't happen as much, but usually my best arguments come hours, if not days, after.
I'm one of those people. I win all my arguments 4 weeks later in the shower.
There you go.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, I gotta send you a meme on that later.
A shower.
So yes, I, the double standard, am here.
Yes, we are all here. We are all awake and happy and excited to do things. Speaking of doing things, guys, something we forgot to do last week, and I feel very terrible about it. Okay.
It should be.
You did it again.
Oops. He did it again.
I did. Play with your heart.
Well, do it now.
Got lost
Do it now.
in the
Do
game.
it now. Turn off your camera before you do it, but do it now.
We did not read our April patrons last week.
Excuse me. Why did you say we when
Because you guys didn't
person-
remind me.
double standard.
I know, and there's nothing sexy about this right now.
A good podcast host does not blame himself. He only blames his team. I'm just kidding. That's a terrible.
I'm a born scapegoat. Just lay it on me.
Oh man. Anyways, remember you can get this show and others early if you subscribe at the $1 tier, but also you can subscribe at the $5 tier and become a Patreon producer of the show. What does that mean? We shout your name out on this here podcast and say thank you for being a producer. So, subscribers at our $5 producer tier are Quentin Jackson,
Woohoo!
Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, and my wife, Sana Dirrig.
You know what? I know Quentin Jackson.
He was in our chat last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up and thank him personally for being a patron.
Special. See, that's what you get here. Customer
a personal
service.
Thank you from LeRon.
No, not
good thing
no,
this isn't an episode of After Dark. It would be a real personal thank you.
Just at somebody I know, so I want to just reach out to time to thank them.
Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Rebecca Jewell is Galatrad's girlfriend, partner, person.
Wait. No, wait. Rebellity?
Yeah.
Oh, you think that's her? That's okay.
Hey, don't reveal secret
That
identities.
just dox somebody? Oh my god.
So,
Wait, did you dox or did I dox? You said the real name and I just said the alias.
I don't know anything anymore.
Okay, Corey. So you
Pass.
know what? So
I failed.
When you do the editing,
I'm not editing. There's no editing
on
on these shows. It's all raw footage.
Do you have the censor sound?
The censor.
The beep.
You should just bleep out. Yeah, you should bleep out everything that we said, and then some. Like bleep out some other words that don't really mean any damn thing.
That
bleep
sounds like a lot of work, man.
Oh, come on, it's not that hard.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I haven't done it yet in any of my edits because I'm like, hey, we're not all PG, friendly, so I don't care.
Anyways, how's everyone's week going? Everyone doing okay? Everyone doing life things? Everybody
What the hell?
have a good Easter weekend?
Yep. As you know, Corey, I was on Nintendo Power Block, so I kind of talked about my Easter weekend there and how I overate. I was a glutton, So, but my son had a good time. Did Easter egg hunting. He got some Pokemon cards in his Easter basket. Actually, today I introduced him to the OG Pokemon Indigo League show, and he totally got into that.
Nice.
But other than that, it's just work, breaking my spirit as usual.
Aw.
No, work does not break your spirit. Okay? It sounds like, Stephanie, that you need a change of pace. Sounds like we need more patrons so we can support Stephanie and her work from home lifestyle.
Save me!
Oh, I'm just kidding. But seriously.
I greatly appreciate it. I know my personal thanks will not be as attractive of an offer as one from LeRon, but I'll try and make it worth your while.
Oh man.
Let's move on before I say something even more stupid.
This is gonna go places. This is gonna be a show tonight. I feel the patrons are getting their money's worth a week early this week. So
salute to you guys.
Yeah. Woo. Speaking of saluting, LeRon, how was your weekend? Again, I don't know what that means.
I was trying to mill it around to see if I could actually use it, as a adjective / verb to describe my weekend. My weekend was okay actually. I thought I was gonna have a chill weekend, but like everybody and their mom decided like my house was the spot. So so Friday and Saturday night was folks just chilling and partying and grilling stuff and drinking and stuff. Like it wasn't like one of those crash parties. Like what was that? What was that movie? The Project X or something like that.
What movie? Oh, the one where like the main marketing thing was like a pool party. It was like a high school pool party.
Yeah, all those high schoolers would basically just throw a random ass party.
Yeah, it was like a really terrible version of Superbad.
By the way, do parties like that even happen on a high school level?
I grew up in rural Ohio, and the biggest party I ever went to in high school was like 15 people bringing their parents' beer out of their closet to the backyard. Okay.
Yeah, and I grew up very sheltered, and my home was basically a prison, so I didn't know what outside life was like.
Jeez,
okay,
how you really feel.
No, it was like Alcatraz, okay?
Jesus Christ.
I don't need to be surrounded by a sea filled with sharks. It was a mental prison. There you go.
LeRon, what was this door you just opened?
Sorry, this is an After Dark. Let's stop. Anyway.
Well,
there's a great party.
I mean, I went to 6 different high schools when I was a kid because I was an Army brat, and not a single year did any of those parties happen in any of the 6 different cities I was at. So I just want to know, does shit like this exist, or is this just like another like the writers of these movies, are just pulling shit out their ass, thinking that that's what actually happens. Because I I don't consider myself an old man by any stretch. No, like I'm not ready to start running outside with a broom saying "get off my lawn," stuff like that.
I'll do it. I don't care. If I see a bunch of little peckerheads on the other side of the street causing a ruckus and disrupting my sleep, you bet your ass I'm
Wait, disrupting your sleep? What time are you going to?
10 o'clock is my usual bedtime, mind you.
Okay, because I'm just here thinking, like, Stephanie just was knocked out of sleep at like 1:43 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And the sound of some kids having fun, just like she just springs up out of bed. It just zip dashes straight for the door. Like it's like the Roadrunner's like smoke is from behind her.
Wow.
It's me.
It is you. It's fine.
If anyone's the old curmudgeon-y person on this podcast, it's me. Which is ironic because I think I'm the youngest of all 3 of us.
How old are you?
32.
You are.
Okay.
That makes me feel better and worse at the same time for some reason. So, anyways. It's okay. It's okay, LeRon. We know you're about 21 years old.
Huh?
You're the youngest.
Well, you've got the spirit of a 21-year-old.
Video games. Who's playing one?
Not
Stephanie's
me.
writing. Got it. LeRon's...
Yeah, I'm writing. But I will say, I did see... Crap, what was the movie called? The Lost Island or something.
With Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. Yeah. It's on my list.
My friend took me to see it. I honestly forgot it. It was really funny. I loved it. I actually think there's a lot of good movies that I want to see lately. Like this is probably the first time I've seen like a bunch of movies that I would, at least not necessarily that I would, but I would like to go to theaters for. Like I'm not as intense as some of those Nick Cage fans out there, but I do like me some Nick Cage, and I want to see that movie too. I just think it's so ridiculous that I also want to see it.
So
I heard it's actually pretty good, actually.
Right?
So have you seen Everything Everywhere?
No, and I also want to see that. See, like, there's so many things that I want to see. So I want to see the Nick Cage movie. I want to see Everything Everywhere, and I've already seen The Lost City or something. It was. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's it. Sorry, boring. No games. Like I keep saying, like I'll finish my book. Hopefully by the end of the month. I was hoping that the Indie World Showcase would have been tomorrow, but there was no announcement for that. Like I was looking forward to.
I should have, and I should have bet money in that conversation thread. What was it, last week or the week before last?
Last week, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, I should have bet money in that.
Why? Like, you think it's not going to happen, or?
No. I didn't. Everyone was just calling it that was going to happen, like either this week or the next week.
Well, I honestly thought so because last year it was April 16th or 14th, and the prior year in 2020 it was in March. So I'm like, all right, well, for the last 2 years, we would have had one by now, and that's the only reason why it's top of mind. But I'm never right, so. Who actually has been playing video games?
Well, as usual, I played Monster Hunter, but I did manage to pick up Deathloop on PC for the insane price of $23.49.
Wow, that's too much.
Yeah, like it was through one of the sites that just watches like all the deals and stuff, and for PC games and stuff. So I saw that and I was like, oh man, this is what I've been waiting for.
Nice.
So
You started?
I've installed it, but I haven't started because I was also wasting some time playing StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Like I used to like RTS games, and StarCraft was one that I purchased a while back. Like I said a while back, like back when it was like not fresh and new, but still, like how a game comes out, it's brand new, so like of course it's getting all the buzz, but then there's this phase where it's a constant conversation piece in people's mouths before all of a sudden it just falls off the face of a cliff and no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I got in StarCraft in that phase, the second phase, not it fell off a cliff phase, because I mean, as far as esports is concerned, like StarCraft is still a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I picked it up, and the crazy part was I don't even remember. Like I don't remember buying like the second and third the first and second expansion for StarCraft. So like when I loaded it up, because I was like I just want to play it, but I need to relearn how to play it.
Mm-hmm.
When I loaded it up, like I had like like Wings of Liberty and the other one too, and I was like, wait, I don't remember paying all this money for this game, but it's in my library, so obviously I paid money somewhere for it.
I think at some point, like if you purchased it at some point, they just gave you the rest of it at some point.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay. Well, that makes better sense, because I was literally doing like the who's on first and what's on second, and
yeah,
I couldn't figure it out. So yeah, I did some Monster Hunter, I did some StarCraft.
Nice.
It's gonna take me a long time to get good at StarCraft.
Yeah. Well, I never got good at StarCraft, so I stopped playing. I played a lot of Super Mario 3D World. I 100%ed the first 8 worlds of that game.
Nice.
And yeah, I got to tell you, Champions Road, I beat it, but I did not 100% it. And I'm like halfway through the first section of Champions Road, and it is ridiculously hard, to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to 100% the rest of this. It was a nice idea, but I got other things to do.
Uh-huh.
So,
well, at least it looks like you found at least a little bit of an answer to your gaming rut when we discussed that last week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was more like I just wanted to do it to get it over with type thing. And, while I'm waiting for stuff to come out or be excited for. So I have a couple games on my list right now of what am I going to play next. One is Link's Awakening, because I played through the first 3 dungeons and then I stopped playing because a Destiny expansion came out and I never went back. And
wait, Link's Awakening?
Yeah. The remake
for the Switch.
Okay.
And
I just had to make sure I heard that correctly, because for a second there I thought you were talking about Link to the Past, and I was like, wait, what?
No. I mean, I've never finished Link to the Past either, but we've already talked about this. LeRon. We literally talked about it last week. Where were you?
I know. I made the guys mad last night when I told them how much I did not like the 64 era of Zelda games. I made those guys mad.
You stopped there, LeRon.
So
all you gotta do is say the right word, Stephanie, and you'll trigger me the same way I just triggered y'all.
Here's the thing. When I get my Nintendo 64 controller, I am going to play Ocarina of Time for the first time since it came out.
Until it gets a modern day remake, and guess what? Guess who will never play it?
I mean,
okay, well,
fair,
we don't care. You can go play your Monster Hunter, all right?
As a matter of fact, I might challenge the gaming community that's all about building shit in Unreal 5 and be like, hey, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake challenge, go, and then just wait to see what drops on the internet.
Listen, what we have for Ocarina of Time is called true love. We accept Ocarina of Time for all of its polygonal flaws and other things. We just love it because.
Oh my god, it's getting mean up in here.
Look at the box you opened, LeRon.
Now, I get violently defensive over Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Damn, I see, man.
Sorry.
See how many fucks I give the first time y'all talk about the NES Bionic Commando.
The game sucks. I don't know. I've never played it, so I can't tell you.
Yo, man.
For a random question.
Oh, man. Huh?
Not on topic at all, but it is related to Boss Rush. I'm going to ask the expert, LeRon, what's the difference between a racerback tank top and a regular tank top?
A Razorback tank top and a regular tank top? Racerback.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the. Wait. I need to make sure I'm saying this right before I just blurt it out. Because I think I know what it is, but I just need to. Okay, I was right. Okay, so I think y'all just get.
What?
All right. So you see the back of my tank top?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's basically symmetrical, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a racerback would be one that cuts in like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, it looks better on women than it does on men.
All right. That was my random question.
Yeah, it looks better on women. Like it almost looks like the same crosshashes that sports bras have.
Oh, that's.
You know what I mean? The armhole things.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Like I believe you were wearing a variation of that in the one picture you sent us with you at Pole.
Okay.
I believe you had something like that. And now all the guys in the audience are going to be like, she does pole, and they're going to be running straight to your Instagram.
Still have yet to get a creepy DM. I think I'm like holding a track record for that. Anyway.
What is wrong? Okay, if you weren't actively dating somebody, like Corey and I could probably make a segment called "Let's Get Stephanie a Date."
I'm afraid of what those results would be.
I already said one terrible thing on this podcast tonight, LeRon. I'm not doing another one.
The way you said that just now, I thought you were about to tell us you stopped seeing the one guy that you've been seeing recently.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She's actually,
kicked him to the curb.
Oh no, it's all good. I'm sorry I derailed this conversation. I know.
How the tank top
derailed
thing?
This whole show, this whole podcast is built on derailing.
I thought the tank top. When you say it like that, it sounds like this should be a topic for After Dark. So don't say it like that.
We say what we need to say, LeRon.
No. Why are you apologizing, Stephanie? That was derailing. Like, wow. It just put a terrible image in my head. That's what I was saying. Like, save it for After Dark.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
Somebody stop me from talking.
LeRon, shut up. No.
Yes, I will.
But anyways, back to this. I'm all right, Stephanie. You thought Ocarina of Time made LeRon's eyes roll back. I've been thinking about doing a full Kingdom Hearts playthrough.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yes.
So we might stream it actually on off Tuesday nights, like every other Tuesday or something.
Oh, well, I can't. I can't tune in Tuesday nights live.
I know. That's why we're doing it then, because we don't want you there.
No, I would have. I actually would have gladly watched that. Yeah. I know someone's gonna make a soundbite of that, me saying that now, but I would have gladly watched that.
So I don't know dates or times or anything like that, but it's something that we are exploring. We are in the early stages of doing, because like I wanted to do timelined with Galatrad, but I mean with his setup and everything, like he's kind of out of commission for the moment. So like will do a different game at this point, or a different series, and so like Kingdom Hearts seems like something a lot of people would enjoy.
Yeah, it's very viable, as much as that franchise can irritate me, because it's a long-standing franchise. It celebrated, was it 20 or 25? I think it was 20 years. And they're going to come out with Kingdom Hearts 4, which will probably be another 20 years. So by the time we stream all of this, Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out.
Yeah. See?
So there you go.
So it's on my list. I would like to play that. I miss being excited for those games. So that's also on the list. But right now, it's like I'm also thinking about getting a backbone for my phone, because I don't get a lot of TV time really with Xbox anymore. And sometimes I like to watch TV while I'm playing games, which is why the Switch is popular in my house right now. And the phone clip I bought for my controller is just not cutting it. It kind of sucks, to be honest. So, yeah, I want to get a controller for my phone. I just don't know what to get yet. But the backbone comes with Game Pass. So.
Y'all have a fan out there in the audience. So.
Yeah, Quentin Jackson. There he is. Woo! That guy.
Our patron, Quentin Jackson.
Yeah, our Patreon producer,
You're the
Quentin
best.
Jackson. So, yeah, so that's kind of all I've been playing. I've been doing a lot. I'm like I'm running out of steam. I gotta pick myself back up a little bit, I think. I feel like I'm getting more tired earlier than I have been. And I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I refuse to allow myself to think that that's why. So, I mean, this show is the fourth podcast I've recorded this week, if you don't count Sunday. So I don't know. I gotta I need some energy, man. I need some juice.
What you need is an additional person to help out with the editing. And I'm not saying it's me, because I have enough of the time doing the one show that I have.
Here's the thing. I would love an editor, but if we hired an editor and they looked at the amount of stuff that we do, they would shit their pants and quit.
You know what? I feel like we, maybe we should save this for like the planning meeting, but this is what I'll say just out loud for the audience. Like I also feel like this is something that an additional member from each team can also like do. You know what I mean? Like Austin or Stoy could do some editing. For
Oh, you mean edit your podcast?
Yeah. Edit the respective shows. No. Edit the respective shows. Like Pal Block. Like you're the only one doing it now, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been. Well,
you're the one who's ever done it.
I mean, Ed was doing it for a while, but
okay. I mean, like every now and then say, hey, like you do this one.
I know, but
or better yet, someone says, hey, I'll take care of this one.
I'm too picky, and that's my downfall.
Gotcha.
I'm too selfish. So, it also like it's easy for me to do it and have everything look uniform, right?
Yeah.
And,
I trust me, I understand that, because I'm kind of a control freak in that area.
Yeah, and so like I want to do that. It just I am like, okay, this is gonna be my week off for stuff, and then like then Tuesday night rolls around. I'm like, hey, LeRon, are you all right? You need me?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like we record an expansion pass after Tower Casuals on Thursday, or Sunday rolls around and someone's like, hey, you want to be on something? I'm like, sure. I guess we got to get this done, and Sunday's the only day I can do it. So, because like we kind of turned Sunday into our overflow day. I don't know. And that's what the planning meeting's for, is like what's working, what's not. Should we consolidate? Should we change something? Should everybody just quit? I don't know.
Everybody just quit.
Please don't, but it's an option.
No.
Anyways, Who's got a topic besides me complaining about how much we do, even though it's my fault?
I do.
Stephanie's like raising her hand like that kid that always like
Do it.
she's like
No, it's nothing
Hermione
too
in
crazy.
school and they won't call on her.
It's nothing too crazy, but I said something, and I fully expected Corey to make fun of me, which he did. So I'm gonna ask. No, don't. It's okay. How do you guys, or for anyone that likes to preserve their gaming collection, whether it's actual games, consoles, collectibles, how do y'all preserve them? Meaning, things are going to collect dust no matter what. And the reason why I brought this topic up was because I admitted that I was I alluded to the fact that I'm an old lady now, right? As you can see, wrapped my N64 cartridges and my N64 in like the cellophane wrap. Because I was like, I don't want dust to get in there. And when I told Corey, he started laughing. I'm like, oh goodness, I am like that old lady who wraps her couch with plastic. But I'm like, I want to preserve it and make sure, because I haven't played it. So.
I mean, to be fair, I don't have my consoles on display, but I do have my NES, SNES, and N64 in like giant Ziploc bags. In totes.
How is that any better? And you were laughing at me.
But they're not on display. That's the difference. Yours are behind you, and it looks like you're serving a casserole at Thanksgiving dinner.
Can you really tell, though?
Your cartridges look shiny from here.
And
they look shiny.
Okay, but how about my Wii that I'm pointing at?
No.
So you can't tell.
Not from here.
Anyway.
That's
my temporary solution.
Are you gonna be like Logan Paul? Did you hear what he did that pissed off a lot of gamers? And this was a Nintendo thing.
No.
Something, I'm sure.
He found he made a tabletop made out of old school Game Boy. Was it?
Oh, that was cool.
Game Boy
I
Color.
really liked that. That was cool.
Yeah. Oh man, like the internet. While the internet applauded it, like a lot of Nintendo fans and the collectors were just freaking nuts about it.
The thing is there was like a few rare Game Boys in there, like color wise, and like the yellow Pikachu edition was in there, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of rare things.
But here's the caveat to that whole thing, right? Logan Paul, and like the report, like the article I read said it, and then there was a video of when he was making it that backed it up. Like every single one of those was defective.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, who cares? My Game Boy's defective. I actually thought about, I would never do this because, especially to my original Game Boy, but I would buy an original Game Boy to do this. Is like, those shadow boxes that people are selling now, where like they'll take apart an old console and space out all of the parts for it and kind of frame it and whatever.
And then make artwork out of it.
Yeah, I would totally do that, but I'm not doing that to my Game Boy because my Game Boy was like the first console handheld thing that I've ever owned. Yeah, I mean, well, I had an Atari, but I don't really count that because my dad brought that home.
I don't think anybody still has their Atari.
Yeah. But the Game Boy is like super special to me, and I would never do that to my Game Boy. But I would do that to a Game Boy, just not mine. Even though my screen is broken and the buttons are sticky and it's kind of dirty and
sentimental value.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I asked because maybe prior to getting all the current gen, I used to fire up my N64 quite frequently, and so I never felt a need to kind of protect it because it was getting constant use and dust wouldn't accumulate. When I was doing my spring cleaning, I'm like, it horrified me. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's dust getting inside the thing, and my Wii was getting like super dirty and dusty, and I didn't know what to do. And unless I go just start buying glass cases, like I don't know what I need to spend my money on. I just have this big blocky shelf. I don't know if I should buy floating shelves. I put my Amiibo so far on the top, but that's not really an ideal place. So I mean, I'm far from being a real collector. Like, I've seen some people who have some very serious collections and take stuff super seriously. Like, they go hunting for vintage stuff and things that are very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just curious, like, glass cases, sleeves, shelves, don't care. Because I don't want to stick to saran wrap.
I kind of fall into the don't care category. Like I think right now the oldest games from a game system I have are PS1, and when I say PS1, I don't just mean I still have the discs. Like I still have a lot of the actual original the original old school jewel cases with the little like like the with like the 4x4 booklet. I still have like a small box full of those games that are and a lot of them are first gen games like Final Fantasy 7, first generation,
Mm-hmm.
well, first run, stuff like that.
Dude, I bought the Black Label version of Final Fantasy VII for
Oh yeah,
for $7.99 at
like was this
somewhere.
recent or was
No,
this back in the day?
this was like back in the day, right before the PlayStation
Okay.
2 came out. I bought all the Final Fantasy games because like I had 9.
And you found black editions?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
dude, they were everywhere. Around here.
Damn.
I have black. I still have black editions of 8 and 9. I got rid of 7 because A, it was worth a ton of money, and B, I don't like Final Fantasy 7 like at all. But so I got rid of it because I made like at the time I made like $70 off of it, and it was awesome. But now it's worth way more than that. But
Oh really? How much?
I think a Black Label Final Fantasy 7 is worth a lot. And I also had Valkyrie Profile with the guide that I sold for 140. So, and I found both of those for less than $10.
Do you guys think that the modern video games we have now, whoops, sorry, my microphone, like Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox games, do you think in like 20, 30 years they're going to accrue value like how the old days are? Or do you think like you know what I'm saying? Like, are things only valuable from PlayStation 1 NES days because our generation's at that age and because they're cartridges and whatever? Or do you think?
I think we're going to get to the point where like digital sales are going to become so prevalent that they're going to start short printing physical copies and like
Yeah, that's gonna drive up the value.
And like within a couple years, I would say probably within the next decade, like physical copies will become like the new collector's edition. Like if you want this game, we'll sell like the way that limited run does stuff now. I think you're going to start seeing that with like AAA games at some point.
Okay.
I just it kind of sucks, and it's crazy because some Switch games are already super valuable, and not like limited run games or anything, but like Xenoblade Chronicles Torna of the Golden Country, which was the spin-off kind of expansion that they did for 2, got a physical copy. They sold it for $29.99 in stores. It's worth close to $100 right now.
Wow.
And also, like, speaking of physical games that really breaks my heart that are worth money now that I lost half of my GameCube games. That's a story I'll tell later, I guess. But, like, I didn't lose them. I left them at an ex's house when we broke up. And
so it wasn't. It was kind of a legit loss.
Well, I had to try to get as much stuff in my car as I could, and then I went back and she wouldn't let me in, and I didn't feel like dealing with it at the time, and so I kind of just left stuff there, and I thought I grabbed all my GameCube games, and I didn't. So I'm missing all my GameCube games from A to L.
Oh, that's the story.
From A to L, which means I'm missing Twilight Princess. I'm missing
Wind Waker?
No, I have Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I'm missing Twilight Princess. I'm missing the collector's disc, which had 1, 2, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on it. I'm missing Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance. I'm missing probably like 15 games.
Wow.
And all of them are cost an arm and a leg to rebuy. Bat and Kados 1 and 2. I'm missing.
Oof, man.
It's
okay.
It was. Yeah.
I was just curious because I like physical copies for various reasons, and I'm like, I wonder if these will ever be worth anything. But yeah, like my N64 ones, I when I was a kid when I had them, and I didn't understand the value of keeping things in their box, so they don't have their boxes anymore. So I just have the cartridge alone, and as you know, the N64 cartridges are very clunky and awkwardly shaped. So I'm like, how do I store this? So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, physical copies are weird because, like, I used to be like a really big physical game collector, like a huge one, and then my apartment burned down and I lost a lot of stuff and it just didn't work correctly, or the cases kind of melted a little bit, and at that point I kind of like I still have that collector mentality, so like I have a lot of amiibo and all these things, but like every time I pick up a physical game, I'm like, what if like the thing in my brain is like, what if this happens again? And like our house, like when our house flooded like last year,
Oh yeah.
like I had that same panic moment again, and I'm like, I don't want to have to go through this again. So I really like cleaned everything up. I have the physical games that I want to keep that I know will be worth something to me, aside from a few that like I lost over the years or just don't have, or it costs too much to replace at this time. But you know, it's just one of those things where like I just don't want to deal with that again. I just don't.
Okay. Now, Lauren, you have a couple like Monster Hunter collectibles, right? Didn't you show us like last week? I don't know if they were amiibo or just statues. Like, do you have a couple of the collector type stuff, and do you just have them decorated around your desk, or do you have display place?
I'm a big fucking kid. Like those amiibos come in the house, they get opened up. Stuff like that. Like I don't have anything. I don't have anything I want to say is like intentionally preserved. Like I don't believe I do. Like, you know, like if they're not still in the original packaging, which is like I want to say maybe like 5% of the physical things that I bring in this house, if they're not in the original packaging, like they're just out and about until I lose track of it one day. It is lost. I really wish I was one of those kids that learned like the not even the necessity, but the idea of value, you know, because if it was like I could like shit, like I had okay, Corey, you watched Transformers, right? The old school, like back when Hasbro and Marvel still had it.
I mean, I never watched the original Transformers.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, shit. Then this is gonna make no impact on you guys. Then, there was a licensing issue that happened with between like Transformers and like the company Tatsunoko, which you know a lot of their anime if you know, but
well I mean this is the story of the toys where like they had like the Transformers, but they weren't called Transformers. Right, and then Hasbro kind of took the idea and called them Transformers and gave them all backstories and stuff.
Oh no, that's not it at all. Actually, I'm talking about the actual toy line.
Failed. I'll shut up.
I'm talking about the actual toy line. Okay, so a lot of people who are listening out there that did watch the old school Transformers, they know what Jetfire looks like from the Transformers cartoons, but there's another side of kids and people that grew up in that time frame that also know that when the Jetfire actual toy came out, it wasn't Jetfire the Transformer that was seen in Transformers G1 at all. It was actually a Veritech fighter from the Robotech series. Yeah. So yeah, I was one of the kids who, in my opinion, got lucky enough to get the mess up, because they ran that toy for 2 cycles before they finally got whatever licensing and stuff was straight to actually print the actual Jetfire. Yeah. So the Jetfire was literally on the market for maybe 2 seasons at best, and then it was gone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, and like Surefire, like if you just Google it, just Google Transformers Jetfire and then Google Transformers Jetfire. I think just Transformers Jetfire model, and you will see the difference.
All right.
And then look up a Veritech fighter from Robotech, and you'll also see the similarity.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I really don't do shit for preserving my games. Like, I feel like now, like with the games and like the really modern like cases now, like it makes it a lot easier to preserve games now.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, but like it's very easy to preserve a game disc now.
Oh yeah.
We're in that day and age. We're in that day and age where, honestly, well, number one, like the Blu-ray discs, like you have to do some work to them to damage them, first of all. But we also live in this day and age now where people actually value like a compact disc, a CD, a DVD, a Blu-ray. Like they kind of know, like, hey, like this is something you're not supposed to tear up.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
I
Me.
do like I am trying to collect Wii U games though, in case anybody wants to send them
Yeah,
my way.
you have
I'm
a
trying
massive stash
I
of
do.
Wii U games.
I love the Wii U. I will stand by it until.
I tell you what. There's a store out here. I was in there the other day, and it's like a collector's heaven, and like yeah, they have a giant collection of old school video games. Like I want to say the newest. I want to say the most current system they have in there would be the Wii. No, not the Wii U, the 3DS.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then it just goes back from there. Like they won't even
Nice.
take like current popular games. I don't think I've seen an Xbox One game in there, or I think I have seen PS4. But
Okay.
okay, so yeah, but oh wait, if PS4 and Xbox One, yeah, that about fits. But yeah, like there was not enough of them for me to say yeah, like this is the place you want to go for those games.
Okay. Speaking of which, I am going to PAX East on Saturday. If there's any particular type of thing you want me to keep an eye out for, let me know.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, because I'll tell you to look for the Monster Hunter tabletop game that was. I want to say they're out of Kickstarter phase now, and you can actually find it now. I want to say
Okay.
that. I don't want you looking for that. Not
Well,
for me.
clearly said it, so I'll keep an eye out for it. I was shocked at the amount of like tabletop stuff that is available at PAX.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what
I mean,
they should call.
every November they have PAX Unplugged, which is all tabletop games.
I
Yeah, I
know,
think. Well,
crazy.
I think when PAX first started doing this thing, it was about the tabletop community. Like it wasn't about video games, and all of a sudden, video games kind of became more of a thing.
Mm. I like how it's blended though, because like I
Yeah.
checked the schedule, not to turn this into a talk about PAX East, but there's various hours where people play a variety of tabletop games. I forget, I don't know if it's actually going to be a live thing, but apparently there's like a tabletop like Alien franchise
There is.
thing.
There is. Well,
Easy.
it is a book of RPG books.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So think the D&D stuff, and not the Warcraft or Battlecraft stuff. Which actually would be cool as shit here's the thing about it. Here's the thing, in my opinion, if they do this stuff in limited run, that all that becomes collector's items, because you have those figurines, like you have like realistic figurines too, because most times now, like a legit artist is doing like the figurines, or like the whatever you use, like the memorabilia for it and stuff like that. So I think it would actually be like I think that would be like a really good collector's thing to do. So yeah, like if you see one, I want two of them, because one of them's never coming out the packaging.
All right. That's good to know. And just side tangent on that, like I would value those much more than um a lot of the limited edition stuff that the actual publisher wants to put out. I forgot what podcast I heard it on in our network, but like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, like limited edition or special
Mm-hmm.
edition.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, I thought it was cool, bit pricey, but I know that along with like other collector's editions, like I've bought like Zelda collector's editions. I feel like the quality is not there as much. Like when they say art book, it's usually like this size
Mm-hmm.
art book.
right. Yeah,
This Turtles collector's edition kind of sucks, and
and they're bilking people of $127 for it.
it's
I think I
$150.
pre-ordered it.
Wait, what's the $127 one?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I like their cloth poster though. I think that's cool.
I love the Ninja Turtles, and if this was a cool collector's edition, I would have bought it. But everything in here kind of just doesn't do it for me.
Like enamel pins and stuff. Like I don't know. I just feel like these collector's editions aren't so cool anymore. Even prefer back in the day when you bought a game, it either came with the regular game or even just the physical player's guide. Sorry to reference Ocarina of Time again, but like the player's manual, like that is cooler and better quality than like spending over $100 and getting tiny cheap tchotchkes. And again, it's the small art book that really gets me. I got the Guardians of the Galaxy collectors, whatever. I'm like, oh, sweet art book. And again, lish big.
Yeah.
So side rant.
It's okay. It's okay. I like the thing is like the things like the collectibles that people put out after the game comes out are much nicer than the stuff that comes in the collector's editions now. Right? Like when Halo Infinite was supposed to come out, like they put out this really nice Master Chief statue, right? And it's way nicer than anything they've ever put in any of their collector's editions. Or like the statues that Destiny is putting out through Numbskull are like way cooler than anything. Well, most of the collector's editions that they put out, right? And it's collector's editions are just, I don't know. I feel like they put them out because they have to make their money up somewhere, and collectibles are cheap to make, and so you can sell a $120 version of a game for like $70. Oh yeah, it gets you the game, but we make like, if you buy the $120 edition, that's $50 extra you're getting from the consumer, but it means like, oh, we're making $45 extra because these collectibles cost us $5 to print and make and whatever.
See, that's why I also feel like video game publishers should not fucking complain one fucking bit if they release a game that has deluxe, a collector's, a bootleg, a gas station, whatever edition, of the game, right? Because like let's think about this. Okay, Horizon Forbidden West, had 5 editions?
That's a lot.
That's if you include, even because like there was a digital standard version and there was a digital deluxe version, and some of that stuff wasn't even matched up properly. Well, I'm not, when I say matched up, I want to say like people got like one less thing on other side. I got to look it up for because I remember we mentioned it somewhere on Crossroads, but basically like they weren't all completely the same. But. No, I don't ever want to hear a company say, "Oh, well, we didn't make as many numbers as we would like." If they have a game that releases with 4 other editions right alongside of it,
Mm-hmm.
you can't give this astronomical number thinking like all this stuff is going to sell like that because some people literally will have to make a decision like what version of the game they're going to buy. Are they going to buy the big version of the game? Are they going to buy the standard version of the game? Or are they going to let it rock until it drops down to $20?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I seem to be going on a bit of a tangent of all these topics. Everything we talked about tonight.
Well, I kind of been going this way, that way, and the other way, so it's kind of like several mini topics.
Yeah, but yeah. Corey, did you have anything else to say about preserving games? Like you had some pretty nifty stuff going there.
Oh yeah, I mean, not really. I kind of like. I've kind of been on the mindset of like if I like a game, I'm gonna get a collectible from that game instead of the game itself, because like the more and more I had this weird epiphany the other day where like, I was looking at my Nintendo 64 and stuff, like all my older games, right? And I'm looking at them, I'm like, there's so many ways to play these games now. Like why do I have these physical copies aside from the fact that they mean something to my childhood, right? And like Mario 64, I literally have 2 ways to play that on my Switch right now, and and I understand like, okay, I'm not going to get rid of this stuff because I enjoyed this stuff when I was younger, but there's just better or more efficient ways to play these games now. And with NSO and Nintendo really pushing the digital stuff, and the pain in the ass, seriously, on the Switch that it is to open the the cartridge door to put a physical game it's just a pain. It's a pain in the ass, to the point where I'm like, this is not worth it. And like the way my entertainment center is set up, I have to tip the dock over, take my Switch out, flip open the thing, put the cartridge in, like shove it back in, and it's just like, man, I could just like leave my Switch in the dock, download this game and not ever have to worry about that crap ever again, right? And that's probably why I have 3 Switches. It's like, man. So I don't know. I always go back and forth on this. I'm like, I'm going all digital, and then I'm like, but the cases, and I like to open them, and I like to like kind of play with them. And
you're the one that actually encouraged me to buy more digital.
I know. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's like, plus, like, okay, so I actually had when the Switch came out, I actually said to myself, I'm going to go back all physical with it, with Nintendo, because like Xbox, PlayStation, I'm going to go all digital, but with Nintendo, I'm going to stay physical, because I had a ton of Wii U games. And so I was like, okay, the Switch, the cases are smaller, whatever, right?
Interesting.
Well, when my daughter was born, the first thing I thought it was like, she's going to put one of these cartridges in her mouth and she's going to swallow it and she's going to choke. And so I probably traded in like 30 or 40 Switch games. I had that many, like when Ed and I were doing Power Block and like really ramping up that stuff. And it was fun to, like, every week I would open a new game on the show, or like, talk about a new game on the show and show off the cover or whatever. And it was like really fun to do. But then I got scared because, like, I don't want my kids messing with my stuff, first of all, but also, like, I was afraid they were going to like choke on these cartridges, because my kids are going to be the 2 kids that like lick the cartridge and thinks it tastes good, and they're going to swallow it and choke and die. And it's going to be my fault because I'm obsessed with video games. And so I traded them all in, except for Zelda and Captain Toad and a couple others, because Captain Toad came out on my daughter's birthday. Like, the day she was born, Captain Toad came out, and I made my parents go get Captain Toad at GameStop because I had it reserved.
Wow.
And so I kept that because that means something. But also, I really regret that decision on most of those games, so it's trying to get some of the things that I enjoy back, but like, I don't know. I go back and forth, and I do this all the time, and I'm fighting myself, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, digital is super convenient, but like, there's just something, especially like Nintendo games, there's something special about a physical copy for some reason. There's something special about a physical copy, And so here I am fighting with myself. So
Get it. So that was my topics. Anyone else got something?
LeRon has one. I feel it.
I do.
All right.
All right. So, for the sake of being relative, when we talk about old school or vintage games, how far back are we talking?
Well, it's retro.
Don't give me the technical.
Retro is classified as 10 years.
Oh, that's all?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's all it takes?
So, like, your Wii games are classic games now, technically.
That's
wait.
weird.
He said classic. How many levels are there?
I don't know. Isn't retro and classic the same thing?
Retro and classic. Let's find out.
I don't know. I thought they were the same. Am I missing something? Did I miss something? God, it's fine. I always miss something.
Let's see. The definition of retro.
The dictionary defines retro as
a noun. Clothes or music whose style or design is imitative of those of the recent past, and the adjective version of that is imitative of a style, fashion, or design from the recent past. And then we have classic, which classic is defined as noun, a work of art recognized and established, a work of art of recognized and established value. There's also a second definition, a school object that moves the study of ancient Greek. No, we're not going to worry about that.
Huh?
The adjective for classic is judged over a period of time to be one of the highest quality and outstanding of its kind, similar to a classic novel. Yeah. So neither of these are actually making any type of sense.
No.
I was sitting here thinking that I was gonna see like almost a synonym type reaction between classic and retro. I thought I was.
Interesting.
I just wanted to expand my vocabulary better, and like I think this way did it, and the way that I thought in my head would have done it too if it made sense.
You tried. It's the effort.
Yeah, I did. But you said Wii U games or Wii games? Because I know
anything that came out before 2012 is considered a classic game.
Well, you're more of a master at this than I am. What was the most recent one?
Wii, I think, was this console. So Wii, 360, PS3 was the generation.
Wow.
In 3DS.
DS.
DS?
Mm-hmm.
DS, not
well,
3DS?
I guess 3DS came out in 2012.
Vita's also in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your classic games right now.
Okay.
Oh man.
Damn.
NES is considered vintage.
Oh yeah.
If you're going by car knowledge.
Well,
30 years is vintage, I think.
What's the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision coming in at?
Death Watch. I don't know.
Death Watch.
I don't know. Oh man, can you believe that? Like, people think of like NES and the arcades and Atari 2600 now the way that when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s, our parents were playing with jacks and like hopscotch and hula hoops and stuff.
Oh my god, the disrespect that came out of his voice with that.
I'm just saying, dude. It's gross. Oh man.
I don't know. I feel I've reached a point in my life where like the past has kind of frozen. Like I think the 90s, I wouldn't say is recent, but like I don't know. 90s is fresh in my head.
1992.
So
it was 30 years ago, Stephanie.
Okay,
Gross.
well,
Sorry.
or early 2000s, whatever. Oh,
Hey,
gosh.
we might all be becoming our parents. You know how like our parents go out the way they tell us something we're enjoying, like is because of the previous generation or whatnot. We're getting to that level. And I know for sure we're getting to that level with our games because like I guarantee you, there's going to be houses there by default, like Nintendo houses, like Xbox houses, PlayStation houses, because right now there are parents that are being made, and when I say made, like they're now having kids, and some of them their first system was an Xbox or a PS2.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we're gonna have generations of homes that are like, oh, we're a PlayStation house. Oh, we're a Microsoft house.
Yeah, and like I'm not sure if this is where you're going with this, and I'm sorry if it's not. I actually had this thought when I was younger, because again, it's all about the generations that come and go, right?
Yeah.
And my mom was suggesting going to healthcare because the baby boomers are aging, and there's going to be a big call or a big need or big business in healthcare. Also, I don't know about in your areas, but all new construction is for active living adults, meaning 55 or 65 plus communities. They're
Really?
everywhere. There's this big business for certain things to attend to this great aging boomer population.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like this next big trend is geared towards the Gen X and older millennials. Like one of the new major radio stations now plays 80s and 90s rock and alternative and like old school R&B.
Just to appease like a certain crowd?
Right, and I feel like don't you think that's kind of like what's happening in the video game industry? Like I've never seen so many remakes and remasters before. I feel like this
Actually,
generation is getting old now.
I have a theory for that.
Okay.
Because yes, like remakes have spoiled us all as gamers. They remakes and remasters have spoiled us all as gamers because like especially gamers of a certain age or a certain time frame, because like we live to like replay. Like I would love for a remaster of Chrono Trigger to happen. Like no, not a remaster, a remake. Because I feel like the Chrono Trigger that came out during the PS1 days was kind of like a remaster, but still. But
I mean, the sucky one that took like 4 hours to load every time you played a cutscene. The PS1
I don't
version.
remember that. I don't remember that. I played Chrono Trigger quite a few times across all the consoles it was available on, like all the consoles because so like I got the Super NES one. I wound up with the PS1 later. The DS one came out, at some point.
Yeah, the
So
DS
you,
one I hear is the best version of that game. That's what I've heard.
it probably is, but I have a I have a local I have a local like a local version of it from PS3 from the PSP store.
It's fair.
So yeah, like the load times didn't really bother me back then. But anyway, um, what I was saying, and it kind of rounds out like what you were explaining just now, Stephanie, is that a lot of us, like we just miss our gaming, and sometimes it's easier to pick up that game again, and so like companies have made it convenient by saying we're going to remake it or remaster it, like they know it's going to sell money, but on the dark side of that coin, the dark side of it, I feel like a lot of these companies are doing that because like right now their talent isn't able to put out something new and refreshing fast enough for them.
Well, I think remakes and remasters are a cheap way to fill time in between major
Yes.
releases, right? I mean,
Yes, even though I appreciate the fuck out of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
yeah. Well, we all do. It's a masterful edition of that game. But to be fair, they put a lot of work into Mass Effect One. To be
Yeah, for
fair,
real, yeah. Yeah, they did.
but yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna fall back into this thing where we're gonna start seeing smaller games come out again because they're cheaper, and they're still gonna charge $70 for them, but they're gonna be
Yeah.
cheaper. You're gonna get your 10 to 15 hour Uncharted experience, which I would much rather play if they could pump out a new Uncharted game every 2 years, right? On like a Lost Legacy scale,
It,
I
it
would
could
buy it every 2 years, guaranteed. That's like the one. That's like seriously the one franchise I miss about PlayStation is Uncharted.
it
And
hasn't
like
gone it hasn't been gone that long. Like the
I know, but I don't
PS5
have a
is just
PlayStation.
barely a year old.
And I've been really itching to replay them because I've been listening to Game Informer just did their video gameology podcast on all the Uncharted games, and the retro podcast I listen to called Knockback is going through the Uncharted games right now,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like I've been itching to play them, and like I as much as I love Tomb Raider, right, and gameplay wise I think they're better, right? It's they're just like they're similar but they're different, and I like the Indiana Jones aspect of Uncharted, and I've just really been itching to play them, and I have no way to play them, and it makes me sad.
I keep telling you, man, if you want to take my PS4 off my hands, it's yours. Just make sure I get it back when you get your PS5.
Oh, that'll be like 5 years from now.
It'd be that long if you're not trying.
I'm not trying. That's the thing. I'm just not trying for one. Because like to me like it's not worth buying a console right now for a handful of games. I mean, honestly, the only reason why I bought an Xbox Series X, minus the fact that I was hosting Arsenal X at the time, but like really the only reason why I bought one, because like yeah, it's nice to have all those like quality of life improvements and stuff, like frame rate and you know runs better, plays all your old games, but like I bought I was gonna buy one of these consoles to play Destiny, right? A better version of Destiny. And so Xbox is where all my friends were playing, and crossplay wasn't a thing at the time. And so Xbox it was. Plus, like, the incentive of Game Pass was super appealing, which I had already been a subscriber for a while. But, like, playing your old games in a more kind of put together way was an easy sell, you know. It's not like I was dying to play Halo, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, Halo's good. I like Halo, but like Halo wasn't a selling point for me for Xbox, to be honest with you. It's like,
I see.
Like, I don't know where everybody came up with this thing that I'm like this big Halo guy. I'm not really, but like I like Halo a lot. It's fun, but I'm not like a super fan or anything. But like Halo Infinite,
I didn't really assume you were a super Halo fan. I didn't really assume that. But I do see where like it could be construed that you are one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because like I'm a big fan of Destiny, and like that was like the natural evolution of Halo. I guess was Bungie moved on, but I bought it because the promise of, you know, playing your older games better, Game Pass, like there's a lot of features that the PlayStation just still doesn't have, and you know, I'm just not like, there's not enough incentive for me to buy a PlayStation right now, you know. Horizon looks awesome, Uncharted is awesome, but
Ratchet and Clank.
See, I never got into Ratchet and Clank. I've never.
Oh, really?
I played like part of the remake that came out in 2016 or 15 or whatever, and I was like, "This is fine." I don't.
You know what?
Get it?
I love hearing what you're talking about right now, but I guarantee you, I know something's going to make you like try and find a PS5 in a hurry.
What?
It's also a contender on my list for this year's Metacritic scores.
What?
Oh.
God of War Ragnarok.
See, I don't think I didn't care. I liked God of War, but I didn't love God of War. I think it's a great game, but like I have a lot of issues with that game. I think the map system sucks. I hate the armor upgrade system. The menu system is terrible. And I didn't think the game got good until you got the chains.
I'm wrong. My bad. My bad.
Like
I know at some point you were a God of War fan. That's why I trotted that game out there.
The first 3 games and the PSP games are awesome.
The PSP ones were pretty fucking awesome.
I'm a huge fan of the franchise overall. I think God of War 2016, although a great game, a little overrated. I think Uncharted is better. I think Horizon is better. I think, from all accounts, Ghost of Tsushima is a great game. From what I've seen, it looks better. I really wanted to love God of War, and I was actually like, the first half of the game was kind of disappointed, which is probably partially why I put it down for a while. So, and then I played the second half of the game when my daughter was born, and I got the chains, and then it became God of War, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is awesome. But
I get you.
I feel like the internet hates me now. It's fine.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, you know, I thought the game that I put out there was going to be the one that make you like prioritize getting a PlayStation, but
it got too serious. Like, also, like that story is way too serious. Like the opening scene, like where he's like, spoilers for God of War, where he's like burning his wife's body, is like super sad, and really like it did the same thing that Last of Us did for me for a minute. It was like, I just want to put this down. I don't.
Gotcha.
This is not this is not why I play games, to see this sadness, you know.
Yeah.
Although Last of Us continues that, and God of War just is God of War, but you know.
Oh yeah, Last of Us is just depressing from beginning to end.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that. Sorry.
I like those kind of games, but I do have to be in a particular mood for it. Like, I don't think I could play it right now. It's too heavy for me.
Yeah. I feel like I brought the mood of the show down. I quit.
Nah.
Womp.
Stephanie, you're the new host. I'm leaving.
No. Can't fill those shoes.
They're they're smaller than you think. Anyway, what
So,
what was the topic again?
well, we were kind of talking about retro games.
Oh, right.
Like I was asking, how old does a game have to be considered vintage? And you said it's a classic if it's old, if it's 10 years older than right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I kind of was like, whoa, that's crazy as soon as he said the Wii. But, I mean, when you think about 10 years, 10 years is what is classified as a decade.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we think about how we describe our years, like, via decades. Like, this is such a 90s thing, an 80s thing. Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness, this is from the 70s music. So, like, when we talk about cinema and other forms of media, we do kind of classify things by the decade. So I guess that would make sense when applicable to video games, but since I don't think that way initially, I had to take pause at first.
Yeah. I have like an add-on to this question.
Okay.
What is your favorite retro game or franchise? And let's try not to make it too wordy, but like definitely. Yeah, as a matter of fact, do it like how I do how I do the what are we playing for the weekend. So just give a brief like rundown, like why it's your favorite.
Like personal favorite retro, or do we just think is one of the best retro?
Yeah, personal favorite. I love hearing like actual, like the real stuff.
The real stuff, he says.
Yeah, like the stuff that means something to you. Not that it's just a sound bite for the echo chamber.
Well, this will kind of reveal our gaming history, right? It's interesting to learn people's first ever consoles and stuff, because I wish I could say an iconic retro game for me would be an NES or SNES games, because I consider NES and SNES retro, and I'm still having a hard time believing N64 is retro, because I started with N64, so I would say my personal best retro game, well, I also had a Game Boy, but I didn't have a lot of games for that, would be something like Wave Race 64, Super Mario 64, and Ocarina of Time. Like, those are my, like, trifecta, like, retro, favorite retro games.
Okay.
I mean, I had a lot of fond memories with Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist, the NES games, which are not great, but still. A lot of fond memories with that. Actually, I've been having a weird Sega kind of nostalgia recently because I got the Genesis controllers for my Switch for the NES Online, but also they released that Sega Origin or Sonic Origins trailer today, which are like fully remastered versions of the first 4 games, and it's like. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm at that point where people are like start having midlife crises and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't know. I've really been wanting to relive those days of just sitting down and playing Sonic or Ninja Turtles for like hours on end and not looking back. Which I'm gonna get 2 collections this year, so I'm good. Games I never thought I was gonna get to play again. Those Ninja Turtles games, and they're all coming out. So
shit, I feel like this summer for me, there's 3 games that I didn't think I was ever gonna get to play again: the Front Missions and Advance Wars.
Yep, those are.
Well, technically, that'd be 4 games.
Well, Advance Wars is rumored to be coming out in June now, so. But also, they already have 2 games in June. So,
well, I guess they figured that like the current event of the world, is actually going to draw out a lot longer than they thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm not saying like either of those decisions was a bad decision, but like I know for sure one decision pissed me off.
Yeah, it's Zelda or Xenoblade got moved up, so like the second half of the year for Nintendo is really blank aside from Pokemon. I mean, you think of the back half of the year, like you got Mario Rabbids, you got Splatoon 3, you got Advance Wars, you got Bayonetta 3 theoretically, you got Pokemon. You know, there's still a lot for Nintendo to put out. The Front Mission games.
I think they're both supposed to be out in the summer. Like one comes out first, and then the other one follows like a month or two later.
Sega or Sonic Frontiers is the Switch version is the lead version. There's something else. Oh, the rumor of a new Fire Emblem taking the spot of Zelda this year, which is something I'm really looking forward to, especially if it's the pirate-themed one that was rumored like 3 years ago. So I'm the second half of this year, plus Hogwarts Legacy, which I will be getting at some point.
Oh God, I keep forgetting about that.
I officially pre-ordered it.
I did too. I'm so excited.
What system?
Well, I'm biting the bullet and playing it on Switch first, and then I will probably get it on Xbox, to be honest with you.
Okay. I will pre-order mine for PS5.
Yeah. That seems to be the way that most people go. If it's not on Game Pass, they're playing it on PlayStation.
I honestly just asked the dude, I'm like, this is the first time I've ever been able to say this, but I can buy it on all 3 platforms. Which one do you think will be the best? The guy's like, PS5. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say something, now I forget.
Sorry.
So. But yeah, I mean, Hogwarts Legacy is going to be... it's seriously still my most anticipated game of the year, unless they announce Fire Emblem. Even then, it's going to be a close. Plus, Xenoblade moved up to July. I'm, like, thrilled. Although, I was like, I wanted to play 1 and 2 before 3 came out, but I'm not going to do that. In, 2 months? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So...
as far as I go, I want to say, shoot. I feel like my favorite like old school like franchise, like fondest memories, earliest gaming memories, like would be Metroid. Metroid, you know.
Like the very first one?
Yeah, the very first one. Yeah. Like I mean, but you know, like I definitely feel like I definitely do appreciate Super Metroid more than the old school Metroid, but yeah, like it was just something about it. I Stephanie, I don't think you were ever on a show with me when I described it like this, but back in those days, like NES games made kids use their fucking imagination, and no game did it more than Metroid. The only thing Metroid had like a very flat screen, like everything behind you was just pitch black, like there was no background, you know.
Okay.
You know, if that makes sense. There was nothing in the background, you know. But man, like that game made kids use their imagination and stuff like that, you know. And the cool thing about it was like it had some of the coolest music for an NES title, of that time, like, because you know, like a lot of gaming music back in the NES days, like in the early NES days, it all sounded just like some rinky dink like chiptunes music, you know, stuff like that, you know. And I remember the first, and you know, outside of the Super Mario Brothers theme, which, you know, now I'm like, why haven't we been driven insane by that music, you know? Because like I feel like the Super Mario song, like I feel like that when Super Mario Brothers was a thing, like the first one, I feel like there's at least 1,000 hours of the Mario theme just burnt into all of our brains. At least 1,000 minutes. Yeah. But Metroid had like for me like one of the most rockingest soundtracks ever. Like when it came out at that point, you know, like I said, like a lot of other games had the same music, you know, for stage after stage after stage. You know, like 8 worlds, 8 stages long. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, shoot, because I can't. Contra had different music for each stage, which was cool. Let's see, of course, Mega Man had a song for every stage, which is insane now as you think about it. Like in this day and age, like there's been 11 mainstream Mega Man games, There's been like 9 Mega Man X games, a whole bunch of the Game Boy Advance, and all those games and stuff like that. And man, just think like every stage had to have a new song. Every stage.
It's true. It's true.
It wasn't like there was this generic like Mega Man music for until you got to the bosses, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But like Metroid was one of the first games that I as far as I can remember that it had some really good music. It did, and I know people are gonna mess with me in a minute. They're gonna be like, Mario did not just have like one song. Yeah, it had 4 songs. It had one for the above ground stages, one for the underground stages, one for the water world, and one for Bowser's Castle. Yeah.
I mean, was that one for Bowser's Castle really a song? It was just like
it was like the same like 8 chords.
Yeah, it was not.
Like Miyamoto had no imagination for that stage, but
to be fair, that was Koji Kondo, not Miyamoto.
Oh, was it? Okay. But I know this. Like they definitely made up for it in like future Mario games. They more than made up for it.
Yeah. Mario. That game.
Yeah. Good old NES days. Yep, Metroid gets it.
Yeah. Well, it was a good show, guys. Good job,
yes, it was.
We did
yes,
it.
It was.
We did all the things. We did them well. But I think it is time to say goodbye.
Aww.
The time has come to say goodbye.
So I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can catch us live on Twitch every Wednesday night or on your podcast service every Friday. Remember, if you're a patron for just $1, you can get the show a week early, or if you're a $5 patron, you get your name shouted out on the show as a Patreon producer. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all that good stuff. LeRon, Stephanie, thank you for your time tonight.
Of course.
Thank you for your time.
Where can we find you, LeRon?
You can find me on social media at Exodus803. Also, my Twitch and YouTube channels, also by that same moniker. And you can find me on Steam, PlayStation Network, and possibly a couple other domains under Exodus803 too. So don't forget that. Also, Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Actually, no, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch.tv/Exodus803 for the Crossroads Podcast. The show that's partnered with Boss Rush Network to talk about PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. And then don't forget, I am the lead host for Boss Rush After Dark.
Nice.
Which you can find on our Patreon.
You can. Stephanie, where can we find you?
Me? You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov_author. Occasional articles on bossrush.net. Hoping to write more soon once I'm done with my book. Also, you'll find me on the Disney episodes of Standard Definition and After Dark as well.
Nice. You can find me at IamCorianHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Nintendo Pal Block, on Standard Definition, on After Dark, and a plethora of other things here on the Boss Rush Network. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this here episode. And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
We love you.
Good night.
Bye.